Well, good morning. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Hancock Hill Homestead. Got a little DIY today, do-it-yourselfer. I done took the privilege of making one, and I said, well, I might as well put it on here and let somebody else do one. I went ahead and took the privilege of putting a block together, and that's what I said, and I used some long screws. I think they're about 3 inches long. 3 inches long screws, everybody can see. 3-inch long screws. And then I wound up using some small sheetrock screws and stuff too. But you gotta have a good skill saw. And I went ahead and took the privilege of cutting it because I didn't want to make all that noise. But you gotta have a drill, and it wouldn't hurt to have a good driver. But you can use a drill if you need to, and then that way you can be doing whatever. Let me grab it and I'll be right back. While you're listening, though, you can hear my roosters and stuff crowing in the background, and you'll see my faithful dogs laying over here playing around. One's on the porch and the other one's out here rolling around, which is Rusty, my son's dog. But anyway, what I'm making, everybody wonders what these things are. But what it is a Carpenter Bee trap. I'm just seeing where a lot of people make them, and they make them out of some old scrap wood. And you know, I told you I'm a collector of old wood pieces that most people throw away or burn or whatever. I'm using this piece for a bee trap. And you see, I do like ice cream, so I'm using an ice cream jar to be able to do that. And that's why I said, what you're gonna need a drill set. And then that's why I said I bought one not long ago, and using it, I got two different types. I got one I bought at Harbor Freight, and then I got the other one with some wood bits in it. So that way you can see what I'm doing. First off, what we do is what I said, you gotta see how it is. You gotta have a piece of wire laying around. You gotta have some screws. If you like using nails or brads, that's fine too. I'm just using what I have on hand. So start off with what we got to do. We got to drill a 3/4 inch hole in the center of this block of wood. And then that's what I said, pick out the best side you want to use and one that's straightest, and I got one that's already straight. Get dead center, start drilling. Yeah, it's a little noisy. But what you want to do is be able to drill that out about 4 inches deep. You don't want to go all the way through, but what you want to do, and you want to make sure you clean the hole out. And another thing too, you should wear my eye protection here. And when you're drilling or screwing or anything like that, and I will put it on here in just a second, but you see, I got the hole drilled in there. I drilled it down to about this deep into the wood, and that way you'll see what I'm going to do. All right, we need to change up from the 3/4 bit. We need to drill in a, this one is about a, let me look on the book because I can't see this thing. Let me look in the case here. It's right at a 7/16, a little bit bigger than a 7/16 hole. And the reason you go with that, and that way it's because about the same size as what the Carpenter Bee drills a hole in. So what you want to do, you want to measure it down. You see it's about that far. And what you want to do, you want to start your bit. You want to start your bit at a straight end and then angle it to a 45. While I'm doing that, that's what I said. Let me move this camera down a little bit so you can see it instead of me. And then that way you can see what I'm talking about. We go in about 2 inches above there. Start your drill bit straight. Lean it back. Drill it at about a 45-degree angle. You can drill one on each side, and that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna drill one on all 4 sides. And what this is 2 2x4s. If you'll notice, I took 2 2x4s, screwed them together with those 3-inch screws, and that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for the dead center, and I go up about 2 to 3 inches. Start it straight in, then angle it back. about a 45-degree angle, and it goes into that hole that I paid in here. I got one more and I'll be finished with this. I like to run it in there a few times. That cleans out the hole. Because you know a Carpenter Bee, he's kind of a particular rascal. If it ain't perfectly the way he likes it, then he ain't gonna go in the hole. So the other thing you gotta have is a good old pocket knife. And most men are supposed to have a pocket knife. And what you wanna do is trim off this excess on the outside. And it don't take much. Just trim off some of that extra hanging around. Because I promise you, if that bee is wanting to go in there good enough, and he thinks this is his nest that he's gonna go in, he ain't gonna care how he likes it or not. But I know if anybody else has had a problem with them, that this is what it is. If you hear them around in your barn or your car shed or whatever, you're gonna have a problem with them because they'll wind up eating into the boards of your building. And I'm a wood person, so I'm trying to look after my wood as much as possible, because you know, as expensive as wood is, and an insect that likes to get in there, and then the thing of it is, he makes the boards weak. He makes your structure weak by doing that. So, and if you see a video of it on there and look it up online, you'll see the Carpenter Bee damage is just as much expensive as a termite. So, you know, termites are bad, but Carpenter Bees are bad too. All right, see, I got my holes in, got one in the bottom. Now, let me wipe a little sawdust off my workbench so that way it don't look so bad. So the next thing is I'm gonna move you down so you can see what I'm doing. So, yeah, I'm getting used to this new piece of equipment here that helps hold my camera. But anyway, I got a leftover pickle jar. And that's what you want to do. You want to take the lid off. You'll see in the center, it's got it marked. All you got to do is just kind of punch it out. And you want to take about a 5/8 drill bit, put it in your drill. Take your time, be careful. Put it about dead center. Go slow, don't go in no hurry. Just in case it tries to spin on you. Watch your hand, don't get your hand. Go around a little bit, removing any of them burrs and stuff like that you possibly get. And then if you have to, you can take your pocket knife. If you got a broad knife like I do, you take and ream it out a little bit. Get rid of any sharp edges. And I know y'all like saying, what in the world are you worried about that for? You're gonna kill the bee anyway. Well, I might want to take this thing off. And if I do, put more water or something in it, because that's the other part of it. Put water in it, then, you know, and it fits right back on there. So next thing you want to do, you want to put this piece centered over your hole in the bottom of that board. And that's why I told you, here comes them other reasons you want to have 2 drills. It speeds up things a little bit. So what I want to do is put a couple of screws in there after getting it centered. Just to hold that lid on there, so that way it holds it good and snug and tight. And you don't want to bear down on too hard, because it'll make a dent in your lid and your lid might not seal back on. See, that's all it is. It's just a matter of that. All right, the next thing you want to do, you got to figure out how you want to hang this thing. I know some people can get an eye hook, put in the center, and you can hang it from the center. But I think that's what it'll do. It'll move. If your wind's blowing it, it's gonna move. So what I decided to do is take me 2 more of those same screws and put them here at the top, within about a 1/2 inch of the top. Screw them all the way in, all but about a 1/4 of an inch in. I got a little bit more on that one. And put them opposite each other on each side. And what you want to do that for is you have something to hang it with. See, that's what I said. This thing ain't gonna be that long. This is gonna be a short video, fast and whatever. It's gonna take longer for you to hunt a piece of old scrap wood to do this than it actually takes to make it. All right, I got another old piece of wire laying around here. See, I told you, I'm a collector of junk. So what you wanna do is try to straighten it out the best you can. Make sure you got it, all the kinks out of it. Try to look for the center, and if you're not good at guessing, ooh, I'm pretty good, look at there. See, if you're not good at guessing, you might want to get you a tape measure if you want to be that precise. To me, I'm not that good at getting tape measures, but one thing I do carry in my pocket, and I guarantee you, everybody, if you ever get a pair of these, you'll tote them for the rest of your life. But a pair of these little channel lock pliers, you will love them to death. What you want to do is bend that as a little round, bend it around, try to make them get as even as possible. Give it a little squeeze, that way to fit tight around the screw. And see what you do? You make a cheap little hanger. What did it cost me? Something, just time to be able to pick the piece of wire up. Take your pliers, wrap it around. If I can get a hook to it, wrap it around, mash it in. I mean, it ain't gotta be nothing extravagant. If you wanna make them pretty to hang around your back door or whatever like that, then you go all out. You can make this thing a pyramid shape. You can make it angled like I did the first one. You know, you can, use your own imagination at what you wanna do for yourself. I mean, don't let somebody else be your judgment, Let you be your own judgment. You do what makes you feel good. And that's what I said. You see how simple that was? Didn't take me no time at all. Just an old piece of scrap wood laying around and an empty jar of pickles, because we like pickles. And one other ingredient that you can, before I hang this up, is, and I just happen to have some around here, and what it is, you want to make sure you put some water in this thing. Guess what? I just happen to have a little swallow laying out here. So, and I bet everybody's gonna wonder, why you put water in it? Well, guess what that bee's gonna do when he gets in there? We're gonna give him a summer bath. So that's what'll get rid of him. I hope y'all enjoy this. I hope that I have many more to come of different ones, things like that I found out how to do easy and do it yourself. Because, you got to be able to do things, because you can't buy everything that you need for a homestead. You got to be able to figure it out as you go. You got to, work it out. Use what God gave you. God gave you some things that people don't realize, that what we got intellect. He gave us, not like the roosters and chickens and the birds that he provides for, or we have to feed. He gave us the know-how to do that. He gave us the know-how to graze the garden. He gave us the know-how to mow grass, how to work, how to do everything. And it says in the Bible also about, you don't eat if you don't use to work. And if you don't work, you don't sweat. So you got to eat by the sweat of your brow. So, you got to use those things. Use that knowledge that you got. I know that some people talking about, that boy ain't got sense enough to get out of the rain. I promise you, it don't matter who you are. If you apply yourself, you can do whatever your mind leads you to. I know a lot of times, and excuse this wind blowing today, because it's blowing hard today after that rainstorm we got yesterday. But you can do a lot of things that a lot of people don't think you can. But the only way you're gonna be able to prove them wrong is do it yourself. So other than that, this is all I have. I know I hadn't said it, but if you like what you see here, what I'm doing, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. And if you want to see when the next one comes up and be posted, you got to hit that notification bell. I know that I hadn't been saying that, but I know I was reminded to. I needed to. But I did have to say some more things that have got a new family member. I want to welcome Madeline Grace back to the homestead here, and because she had to run off for a little bit for a little treatment at the hospital, but she's back home doing super good. I got to see her this morning. Can't you see it in my face? I'm lit up. I also got to see my grandson, Trace. I got to see him and got to help them out a little bit today too. So I'm really blessed, and just being able to thank God for everything that he's gave me, and thank God for all the things that I'm able to do. Yeah, I'm thankful for the job that I had with DOT that I retired back in December, and you know, that's a whole nother story. But again, if you like what I'm doing here, please, you know, send me a little note, tell me that. I'll make sure it's on Facebook too, so that way if you want to see it, but you can do that. But do go on to YouTube and subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to know when the next one comes up, and like it if you would. And then that, what it does, helps me get the numbers up, and then that way it gets more out there so people can see it a lot more. Hopefully that's what it is I'm getting done. I got more things going on around here, but I also got an interview with somebody today. This guy is about landscaping and how he started his business and all, which we ain't gonna take nothing away from it, but I'm supposed to meet with him this afternoon, and me and him's gonna do a little YouTube video. I hope this one comes up before it does, so if you do, thank you for being with us here at Hancock Hill Homestead, and see you at the next one.